This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. What's going on? Today is Monday. It is September 26th. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. If you are thinking about playing blackjack, poker, or table games, it's on one side of the casino. Sammy's Restaurant and Bar is on the other side of the casino. Everybody knows Sammy's Woodfire Pizza. It's all just 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego, and it's in a completely smoke-free environment. So if you're looking to play cards, this is the place to be, 7 Mile Casino and 7milecasino.com. And if you have any problems with gambling, you call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, quick pop for our lead sponsor as we just get onto the radio airwaves of 1090, as we get onto the stream of YouTube, all the different audio podcast platforms. And tonight, Channel 4 San Diego's our home base will be on TV. Grande, Brown Man, what a weekend we have just had. If you are a sports fan, and we talked about this just as the NFL season was kicking off, baseball's headed towards the playoffs. The Padres win 2 out of 3 in Colorado. We'll discuss what happened with Philadelphia and Milwaukee as well, and what's coming up this week with the Dodgers coming into town. The NFL this past weekend, Alex's Vikings against my Lions, and your Vikings prevail. Browner's Bears get a win. But the biggest story of the weekend from the NFL, at least for me, is my Jacksonville Jaguars got a big win over the former San Diego Chargers. And not just a big win. I mean, total, utter, embarrassing devastation. And it's not that they just destroyed the Chargers on the field, but now are tearing apart the whole franchise, meaning the question marks about how could you play a guy as injured as Justin Herbert, and typical of the Chargers, everybody's getting hurt this early in the season. We'll get to that story coming up. So just so much to get to. Baseball playoffs, football, college football, my own personal football weekend. Man, I'm telling you, what a great time of year. Grande, Brown Man, what's good? Alex.
What's good is Padres baseball is good. That's still top of mind for me. I know maybe not for you, Scott, but that's still top of mind for me. Yesterday obviously was about as good as it gets for this show, for two of us at least. I mean, that whatever you want to call that Jaguars victory was just like chef's kiss to the Sunday, because not only did they destroy them on the field, but now they did it so bad, and Staley had some serious questionable decisions that now I've already read today on Charger blogs. It's time to have that conversation about Brandon Staley. Vikings, not a walk-off, but, a good, solid come-from-behind victory. And then, of course, magic number, down to 6, Padres. 6, 3 wins, 4 wins, 6 wins, however it comes. That's all you need. 6. So very exciting times right now. I love everything we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day today. And Big Brown in the house. Your Chicago Bears somehow, some way, not pretty necessarily, but victorious. My Jacksonville Jaguars, already I'm getting heat on social media. Yo, hold on a second. I thought you told Tony Biselli last week that if the Jaguars win, you'll have your face painted in Jaguar colors. It's coming. Last night when the game was over, I didn't have time to go find face paint, number one. And it was a Jewish holiday, at least the start of the Jewish holiday last night. So for everybody that is observing and celebrating, hey, it's Rosh Hashanah, Shana Tova to all of my people out there. In the modern day of California Judaism that I'm living in, last night I had my television on the Broncos and the 49ers game, and I had my computer on the services that were happening at the synagogue. So I turned the football game down, I turned the rabbi up, and I was watching both at the same time. Big Brown, were you observing the start of Rosh Hashanah last night?
I don't know that chant, so I cannot say that I honestly was. Mm-hmm. What I can tell you is I was predictably right, as always, about baseball on this show. And I just want to let all my Padre fans out there know we going. The Bears and the Broncos have something in common, and I'm afraid for my team, but I don't care about the other team. the Bears and the Broncos got two guys from the Green Bay Packers who were supposed to be offensive guys, and neither one of them seemed to know anything about offense. So the Bears struggled. They were gross and disgusting. I hate that I had to watch that game, but they won. But this is the second win that they have there. I was like, that win shouldn't count. But they all count in the NFL when you win them like that. And then to watch last night, the Broncos with a quote-unquote future Hall of Fame quarterback just look like, like the Bears. It was rough, man. It was rough. It was absolutely rough. There's no need for me to talk about Herbert. He was hurt. They didn't have nobody. I don't count that.
You don't, huh?
No, I don't count that.
No.
I
Well,
don't count that.
I was watching the Bears a little bit, not like watching their game, but I saw some of their highlights on the red zone.
Because we was in the red zone.
There's a player on the Bears, and I sent this message to Alex yesterday afternoon, and I said, how could this guy not be Browner's favorite player in the NFL? How could we not be talking about this guy all the time? Browner, do you know who number 26 is for the Bears? I think that's his number.
On offense or defense?
On offense. Running back.
Maybe
I'm getting his number.
I don't think that's how it works.
Khalil Herbert.
Yeah. You don't think that they have an offensive 26 and a defensive 26?
That's just in college. Yeah.
Okay. Browner, what did you say this dude's name is?
Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert. How could you not be hyping Khalil Herbert as your favorite player in the NFL? You love Khalil Mack. You say he's the best defensive player. You love Justin Herbert, the Herbolt. You think he's the best quarterback. How could there be a guy in the NFL? I just found out about him this weekend. How could there be a guy in the NFL named Khalil Herbert and you not be hyping up a Bears running back named Khalil Herbert? Come on, dog.
Just because you just found out about him yesterday? That was the first time he played extendedly in his history as a Chicago
No, that's
Bear.
false. Last year, he was on my fantasy. He was very good. He was on my fantasy team last week when Montgomery went down. I remember that specifically. He was pretty good last year for like 3 games.
Nobody on that team was good last year.
Hey, look, all in losses. I'm looking at it right now.
There you go. There you go.
Your Bears were awful.
Right.
He had a 75-yard game, 97-yard game, 100-yard game, 72-yard game. Bang, bang,
Come
bang,
on, man.
bang.
That's great.
Khalil Herbert? Come on, dog.
For
Khalil
your
Herbert is a
crappy
combination
team last year?
of your 2 favorite players. Come on, man.
No, bro. I'm trying to root for winners. He did great yesterday, though. He was on fire yesterday. So, and plus, I like David Montgomery better, but Khalil Herbert's a good player. He rose to the occasion when Montgomery went down, and so I take my hat off to him. And the boy was balling yesterday.
You know, one of my favorite stories coming out of
a lot
this
of bad
NFL
football
weekend
yesterday.
is
A lot of bad football.
A lot of bad football, including the Sunday night game where it was so bad last night for the Sunday night game. I turned it off. I turned it off and went over to House of the Dragon. And I sent Alex a text about the House of the Dragon, like, hey, are you watching this? And he never got back to me. He never answered my text.
Yeah, I saw it, I think this morning. And I was like, oh, was Scott drinking?
Well, I think I maybe misspelled something.
There was a I watch HOF.
Yeah,
HOD?
I was asking
question mark.
Well, you know what happened is anytime I use the letter U, it changes it to I. So it was supposed to be you watch HOD.
Oh, it's like sweet and white.
And then HOD gets corrected to HOF. Dude. Last night, House of the Dragon. I left the football game because I couldn't take it. I won't even talk about it. I won't even talk about it then because you know what? I'll be curious to hear what you think because I'm going to say this right now. Not only did I have to watch it, rewind a bunch of it, turn on the captions, closed captioning, watch the post-show credits and the future what's going to happen. And then I had to sit there and watch through the writers and the actors discuss what happened because I'm going to tell you right now, I've been thinking House of the Dragon has been confusing.
You watch that stuff?
Oh, dude, I have to. Brown.
It helps.
Brown, if I didn't watch the writers and the actors talk about it after the show last night, I to right now would have thought that I skipped like 2 or 3 episodes. That's how utterly confusing last night's episode was.
Okay, let me ask y'all a question. because y'all are into this show. I'm not necessarily.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to be into it. Last night, it kind of irritated me.
If you need somebody to explain the show to you, doesn't that make the show too hard to follow? Like that's why The Walking Dead lost so many people when they had to start a show after the show to explain to you what you just saw.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really annoyed last night. Alex, I'll wait for you and then we'll discuss.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I already know that they jumped 10 years.
10 years? They don't even tell you. They're not like, hey, we're jumping 10 years ahead. There's so much going on in this show, and I'm like, whose kid is that? Who's the mother? Like, Look, whatever, dude. You watch it, and then we'll discuss it, all right?
I had a text from a friend that basically described last night's episode as a "Where Are They Now" episode, like an old VH1 show. Where are they now?
Yeah.
And
I was
yeah, I
lost
mean,
last night.
I knew it was coming. That's why I told you on Friday. I was like, if you don't know what's coming on Sunday, you're going to be even more confused. I told you on Friday. Like,
Are the black people
So
still in it?
confused. Yeah, lots of black people.
Okay. Not like
Lots-
servants. I'm talking about people with lines.
No, people that are like, royalty.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They
Hell
wear
to the
purple.
yeah. hell
I'm
to
going to watch it tonight, though, because there's no chance I'm watching Giants Cowboys.
the- Oh, that's Browner's game tonight. He loves the
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Listen, man, I wish I could say I'm not going to watch.
He's
I
like,
wish I
people
could say
can
it.
give Kirk Cousins all the grief they want about primetime Kirk, but that's it. That's all we get this year. Unless you're going to tune in at 5:30 on Thanksgiving night, which I think is like the least watched football game ever, every single year because everyone's busy. Like, you're not going to see Kirk Cousins, but the Cowboys, we got 6, 7 more primetime with them every
Cooper
year.
Rush? Cooper Rush, anyone? Cooper Rush?
Yeah.
You want to know that my favorite part of the whole NFL weekend
The
is
Padres
coming out of this
outscoring
weekend.
7 teams.
No, that's not it.
Oh, okay.
My favorite part is this. There are now 2 teams remaining that are undefeated. The Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC, the Miami
That's
Dolphins in
great.
the AFC. I told you last Friday that I had Miami beating Buffalo. And I'll just say
I told
this.
you guys before the season started that I liked both those teams a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, Alex, you called it last week, and you actually corrected me on Twitter yesterday and said that you and Browner called it. When Indianapolis got smoked the way they did by Jacksonville, 24-0 the week before, I figured Kansas City's going to beat them 48-0. You were like, no, that's one of those games where everybody's going to assume, like I did, Kansas City will smoke them.
Yeah.
And Indianapolis goes from a 24-0 embarrassment to Jacksonville, which maybe doesn't look as bad today as it did then, to now beating Kansas City. Kansas City falls yesterday. Buffalo falls yesterday. But I love the fact that the 2 Alabama quarterbacks are on the same roster at the same time, and Jalen Hurts is the guy. And Nick Saban says, you know what? Even though you've been the guy, All-American, national champion, I'm replacing you with this kid Tua. Hurts becomes an incredible teammate, waits his time, takes off, goes to Oklahoma, has another spectacular year, winds up being a second-round draft choice. Tua, everybody's been waiting for him to be the Alabama Tua that he was, finally is starting to look like that guy. Tua's on an undefeated Miami team. Hurts is on an undefeated Jacksonville team. Gosh, if I could get that for a Super Bowl, man, that'd be an amazing story. Those 2 guys kind of coming up together, then splitting, and now becoming stars in the NFL. That's cool, man.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, the Eagles beat down the top 5 quarterback and the Commanders. Like, at one point in the fourth quarter, I believe, the Commanders had -2 passing yards. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, at one point in the fourth quarter, the Commanders had -2 passing yards. I didn't know you can go backwards, but I forget that if you pass the ball backwards, you can go backwards. So it was a complete beatdown. Makes me feel a little bit better about the Vikings losing last week. But dude, the Eagles, they're no joke, man. They got guys on defense. They got some real talent on offense. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts is the best fantasy quarterback you can have, and now he's translated into actually winning on the field. Because last year, I don't know, you guys don't care, but last year Jalen Hurts was like top 3 fantasy quarterback because all he did was get points. He just didn't win that much. Then we all forget the Eagles made the playoffs last year.
Yes.
Everybody forgets the Eagles made the playoffs last year. Yeah, it was like everybody that was trying to get that final extended wild card spot or whatever it's called, like they all limped to the finish line. But the Eagles are a playoff team, and they take that step forward this year. I like them. I like their coach.
And I like Miami too.
Yeah.
Listen, I like Miami. Miami's got so much speed on offense. They have an aggressive defense, and they came up clutch yesterday. And I'm telling you, if you're going to win a game against Buffalo, when you get them that early in the season at home, and it's hot and it's humid and guys are cramping all over the field, you got to get that win at home. And they did. And listen, the Bills Mafia, which we saw take over SoFi Stadium when they played week 1 against the Rams. I don't know if you guys saw any of the videos, but man, they took over South Florida. Where I grew up on the Fort Lauderdale Strip, they had this, there's a world famous bar right at the corner of the Fort Lauderdale Strip called the Elbow Room. It's been there forever. They took it over with Bills Mafia signage. I'm like, what's going on here? They're allowing the Bills Mafia to do this. And the Dolphin fans, which haven't shown up in a really long time, showed up yesterday. So what an exciting weekend. I haven't even mentioned the Raiders. Man, I watched that Raider game yesterday against Tennessee. The Raiders they're a mess. They are a mess.
Told
And
you
by the
guys.
way, listen, we can blame Derek Carr all we want, and I get it. Derek Carr has been the starting quarterback for the Raiders for a long time. They just gave him a big extension with a lot of guaranteed money. But when you put a ball in a guy's hands at the goal line and he can't catch it and it pops off his hands and turns into a pick, that's just not on the quarterback. So Derek Carr is the scapegoat for a lot of Raider fans, but it is hardly all his fault. I'll tell you that right now. But they are a mess.
I know someone else we can blame, but I want to get in there that early.
Really? You want to blame somebody with the Raiders that early?
I mean, besides the head coach not being a good head coach.
Okay.
They did have a prized possession this offseason that I thought was going to turn them into a real playoff team, where I was told that the Raiders have the best offense in the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, he's been a dud.
Look, man, just, let it iron itself out, baby. Y'all jumping to conclusions, man. It's week 3.
I'm not jumping to conclusion. I buried them before the season started. I told you guys, I was like, I don't understand why you guys think the Raiders are good.
Skill position guys.
No,
That's
and
why.
I still don't-
Devontae Adams, Waller.
Still don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm off Waller, by the way. I mean, you've got to come up with catches on the goal line in a critical situation, and balls are bouncing off your fingers. I'm out on that guy.
It was a rough afternoon.
It was you know who else is bad as a whole? The NFC West. I'll put the Rams in there too. They're not very good.
No, they're not very good at all.
They're not impressive.
Nope.
They're very clunky on offense. I think that their talent is winning them games because as a whole, as a team, they're not impressive. They're just not. Like, they can't run the ball. Stafford does not look 100%.
And I'll tell you something else. And I'm just watching that Tennessee Vegas game yesterday. A guy like Robert Woods, who the Rams gave up on in favor of Allen Robinson, terrible decision. It's not really an Allen Robinson thing. Say again?
3 games in. I agree.
Yeah, but it's not an Allen Robinson thing. It's just that Robert Woods was you're right. He was a heart and soul guy of their organization.
Listen, I watched Allen Robinson play for the Chicago Bears for 3 to 4 years. I will only count the last year because he didn't really play. Allen Robinson is a good receiver, but if you don't work him into the system, this is what he looks like. If you don't work,
I think Scott's not necessarily talking about football. I think he's talking about like what Robert Woods brought to the Rams.
Robert Woods was a heart and soul guy of that locker room, and he was a playmaker. And you know what? He hurt his knee, and they gave up on him. And if he was still on this team rather than Allen Robinson, they would still have kind of their core guys.
You know who they missed too? And I can't believe I'm about to say this.
OBJ.
And it's not necessarily like on the field. I think he brought a fire to that offense. I think he brought like I hate using this word, but I think he really did bring like a swagger to that offense that kind of elevated and propped up the offense. I think that they don't have a guy that's flash right now.
The threat of what he did was never replaced. And
his
Allen
attitude.
Robinson was supposed to replace the threat that Robert Woods gave. Yeah. And it's just
not
working out within the system right now.
You got a quiet guy in Kupp. You got a quiet guy in Higbee. You got a quiet guy in Robinson. You got a quiet guy in Henderson. You got a quiet guy in Stafford. There's no one on the offense that's there to like light the fire on the offense. No.
And by the way, the word you're using, swag, is the right word, I think. Well, look, here's what just as we're getting on the air today, just think about what's going on. We're kind of all over the place, just with like initial thoughts of what happened this weekend.
We didn't even mention butt punt.
Oh, dude.
Yikes.
Butt punt is awesome.
Or a guy running out of bounds.
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo, listen, here's the thing. As much as people say that the Niners will be better with Garoppolo than they would be with Trey Lance, I think we all can pretty much see. We know what he is. We know how far he can go. That's why they wanted to go to Trey Lance, because they thought Trey Lance brought a different dimension, a different speed. And Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't have that. And so, like, the whole world was going, well, they're going to be better with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I told my Niner friend, I was like, I spent the whole offseason trying to convince you how bad Trey Lance was, that I forgot how bad Jimmy G was.
Well, him stepping out of the back of the end zone last night and having no awareness of where he is on the field is pretty shocking for a quarterback of that many years. Well, look, we got a lot to get to. As our brains are scattered and we're kind of just talking about everything that happened over the course of the weekend, let's start focusing in. I'd like to start off with how the Jacksonville Jaguars came to LA and humiliated the Chargers. It's not just the final score. It's the coach having to defend himself because the coach doesn't have the courage or the cachet or the experience to say to a quarterback, I'm making the decision. You're not playing. And it just kind of goes to show you how truly dependent they are on Justin Herbert. So let's start off with my Jaguars, destroying Browners, Herbolts, and the Chargers. And yes, I'm working on the face paint. I'll figure it out by tomorrow. Hey, listen, we're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. I'll just tell you this. I've been to every casino there is in San Diego over the 20-plus years of being on the radio. This is the only place I know of that's smoke-free. It's the best location, only 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. And with Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, that's reason enough, man. Come on down and visit. Have some fun. Good luck. And if you have any problems with gambling, you call 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's start it off. Jaguars crush the Chargers next here on Kaplan and Crew.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Rome comes home. Yes, I said it. You can now catch the Jim Rome Show Monday through Friday, noon until 3 p.m. on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Back to San Diego, where it all started, on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is almost complete. Live on Your View and YourView.com, watch your San Diego Loyal take on Orange County SC, Saturday, October 1st at 7 p.m. Support your playoff-bound San Diego Loyal as they prepare for the 2022 USL Championship. Orange County SC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7 on Your View.
I thought I was okay. I had a degree, I had work experience. I should be able to provide for my kids. But they're just things that you don't plan on in life.
My husband got laid off and we are a family of 5.
My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I would ask the doctors, what can I do? And they would just say, just make sure she's eating. Our lives just changed completely. Thank God that we always had a plate of food.
When your air conditioner needs to be tuned up, repaired, or replaced, call Bill Howe, the name you have trusted for over 40 years. We carry the most reliable, energy-efficient brands that will fit your budget. Whether you are looking for a traditional or ductless air conditioning system, you know who to call.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe, because we know how.
We use our phones to order our food, catch a ride, share our stories, and so much more. SDCCU made banking from your mobile device easy, too. You can do so much. Get up-to-date account balances, check on pending deposits, transfer money, deposit checks, and more. Safely and securely, all through the convenience of your smartphone. SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It's better.
Change the way you look and feel with San Diego's most comprehensive varicose and spider vein treatment facility. San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center offers minimally invasive, pain-free procedures performed by board-certified cardiologist Dr. Tahizadeh. With over 17 years of experience, we specialize in the diagnosis of varicose veins, spider veins on the face, hands, and legs, ankle discoloration, leg swelling, and more. Improve your vein health today. Visit consultation.sdveintreatment.com or call 619-582-2404.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hunger is a year-round problem. The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter provide food assistance at locations throughout the county. We need your help. Host a food drive, volunteer, or donate online. Thank you for making a difference.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
The Rich Eisen Show airs Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. An engaging blend of insightful football expertise with an offbeat mix of humor and pop culture while continuing to attract the most recognizable names in sports and entertainment. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
What's up, everybody? It's Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. It's Monday afternoon. We're just getting onto the radio airwaves of 1090, the stream of YouTube, all the different audio podcast platforms where you catch us. And as always, you can catch us tonight on Channel 4 San Diego. That's our home base. It's also Channel 4 in Santa Barbara. So to all the great friends that are up in the Central Coast area, you can get us on Channel 4 in Santa Barbara at 7 to 8 p.m. LA Orange County, Channel 118 if you've got Cox or Spectrum Cable. So pretty much every way possible that we can come to you guys, we're doing it. Okay? I mean, I'm just trying to think of other places where we're not on, but none come to mind. So guys, first segment of the show today, we were sort of scatterbrained all over the place with our initial thoughts of what happened week 3 around the NFL. We're definitely going to get to the Padres, what they did in Colorado. They're off today, what they've got coming up this week with the Dodgers coming to town for 3 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll get there. And I also must talk to you guys about an all-time low as a father on Friday night with an all-time high as a father on Saturday afternoon. So moms and dads, stay tuned, because let me tell you something. Friday night was disastrous, and Saturday was all time. I'll get to all this stuff on the way. Guys, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I guess what Tony Baselli said to us on Friday is probably right, which is getting a real coach, a coach who walks into a locker room and people go, okay, this guy played in the NFL. Not that he was a star, but he's got the credentials. This guy has been a head coach in the NFL and has led a team to a Super Bowl win. When this guy walks in the locker room, we all respect this guy versus the previous head coach is kicking people on the field saying, I'm the ball coach. I'll do whatever the hell I want to do. I don't know if Doug Peterson is the answer as to why the Jacksonville Jaguars have gone from laughingstock to, at least through 3 weeks, respectability. Maybe it's Trevor Lawrence. Maybe it's some of the draft picks that they have. Or maybe it's just that the Chargers were so beat up yesterday, no excuse, that the Jaguars were able to come cross country and humiliate the Chargers. And by the way, beating them on the field 38-10 is one thing. But for a head coach to have to go to a press conference after a game and answer questions, why would you have a quarterback in a game who is obviously hurt, who was a game time decision to play? You're getting annihilated in the game. Why the hell would you keep this kid in the game? And his answer is so immature and so inexperienced and so unprofessional and so fearful. I remember, I wish I could tell you which ESPN commentator it was. One of the guys before the season started, they asked a question, who will be the first coach to be fired this year? And this guy's answer was Brandon Staley. We're 3 weeks into the season. You can tell me about how bad Nathaniel Hackett is in Denver, but his team is 2-1. You can tell me how bad Josh McDaniels is in Las Vegas, and his team is 0-3. What the Chargers coach did yesterday is a gutless move by a head coach. But that's what happens when your head coach is 12 years old. Fellas, what did you think about the whole Herbert situation yesterday, from starting him to letting him finish a game that was way out of control? What'd you think?
What else would we be supposed to do? You going to take the starter out? No, they did the right thing. They kept him in the game. I didn't – look, man, I am not – Chase Daniels ain't going to help you do anything. It was better – I think it was better for him to fight through that. Like, there are other people in that locker room looking at him to be the leader of the team. Ain't no bowing out. Tom Brady ain't coming out of that game. Patrick Mahomes ain't coming out of that game. Josh Allen ain't coming out of that game. If you start the game, you're healthy enough to start it. And if you're healthy enough to finish it, you go to the end regardless of what the score is. So I thought it was admirable that he finished the game.
Okay. I think I've given you my setup, which is terrible, terrible decision by the head coach. Of course the kid is going to want to stay in the game. The kid wanted to start the game. Kid wants to finish the game. I love the warrior mentality of those are my guys, and I'm not going to quit on them just because we're down 38-10. But at some point, a coach, a trainer, an organization has to protect their most prized asset, given they're not going to win. They've already got other guys hurt. Their left tackle, who Tony Baselli said last Friday is probably the best left tackle in football, he's out of the game. So in a game like that, I'm not saying that the kid should have pulled himself out. I'm saying the coach should have had the guts to pull him out. We're not going to see eye to eye on this one today, Brown.
No, and also I think that Josh Allen does come out of that game, because Josh Allen came out of the game on Monday night when they were kicking the Titans' ass, because that's what you do when you are literally not going to win this game. It's not like a point of pride to stay in this game. It is literally like, okay, what is the point of keeping him in the game? You're not going to win. There's 2 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it was, 3 minutes left. There's literally no reason to risk your franchise, because that's what Justin Herbert, that's what everybody keeps saying. He is the franchise. He is the top quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. What is the point of keeping him in there? It made no sense to me. It made no sense to me. And then when he says, well, this is an injury he's going to have to deal with for a few weeks. Yeah, that's not really the point. Like, that's not really the point. The point is that you're down by 30 points with 2 minutes left, and you're just putting your guy out there just to get hit. That's it. There's like nothing else is going to happen. Nothing good can happen. How about that?
See, Browner, when you say, what is Chase Daniel going to do? Help you win? No, not when you're down 38-10. He's not. But wouldn't you rather have Chase Daniel absorb the hits rather than Justin Herbert, given his injury?
Especially when you don't have your center. They were down that one of their right guard or right tackle, and their left tackle, who's now out for the year because, of course, he got hurt yesterday as well. So you're down 3 starters on your offensive line. You're down by 28 points, was it? And, like, what is the point? And then to say, and I actually have the clip because it's long, and I think we should hear all of it because it makes no sense. When he says Justin wanted to stay in the game, like, be the coach. Be a coach. Be like the leader of the team that you're supposed to be. Makes no sense.
He doesn't have, here's what he doesn't have. Brandon Staley doesn't have the experience, and he doesn't have the guts yet to say to a star player, sit down and be quiet. For example, Andy Reid yesterday, as the Kansas City Chiefs were going to halftime, there were still, 15 seconds left on the clock, and Patrick Mahomes really wanted to try and put some more points on the board, or at least get into scoring position. And Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator, is like, kneel on the ball. Let's go. We're fine. Let's get out of here. Turns out, probably not a great decision, because in the end, Indianapolis won the game. Had they maybe gotten into field goal position and scored some points, maybe they would have won that game. But Mahomes now is feeling enough about himself, even though he's a young guy. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to a second. Patrick Mahomes goes up to Eric Bieniemy. He's like, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, we got to try and score every single possession. Anytime we have the ball, let's go for the score. And Bieniemy's going, we're good. Calm down. We're good. And it's turning into an argument on the sideline. And Mahomes has to know a little bit better that the cameras are catching him. And Andy Reid steps in between the two of them and goes, hey, you, grabs Patrick. Doesn't grab Bieniemy, grabs Patrick Mahomes and goes, go to the locker room. Okay? We don't need to be doing this out here on the field. Andy Reid has the courage and the guts and the experience that if he has to protect his player, he can. Brandon Staley's like, no, I can't. He's a warrior. He has to stay in the game. That's what he wants to do. They are just way too dependent on Justin Herbert. At some point, a team and a coach in particular, in my opinion, they got to protect the player from themselves sometimes.
Which is true in certain instances. I don't believe that this was one of them. To have communication between a young head coach and a young quarterback, for them to communicate and him go, I don't want to come out, and then you look at the game and you determine as a coach, I don't think he's in danger, then I'm going to keep him out there because he wants to be out there. I didn't have a problem with what he did, and I think that's just where we differ. I don't think it was about him not being man enough or being tough enough or being the leader of the team or anything like that. I just think he's building a relationship with this player, and trust is a large part of that. And so he trusted Justin Herbert to relate to him that he was okay. And he did. He believed him, and he let him go back out there. Did he sustain any further injuries? Not that we know of.
Probably so.
How do you know that?
I don't.
Right.
I don't. But let me ask you.
I mean, the first play that they left him in, he did get hit.
Football.
I'm sure it didn't help. Yeah, but I think that the decision at the final 2 minutes of the game is really covering the larger story to me. Just the Chargers are underperforming as usual.
They're hurt.
Well, okay, they're hurt. Okay, but that's fine.
Not?
They're always hurt. They're always hurt. We just, Alex, there was a tweet that was sent yesterday by this guy who covers the NFL. I can't remember his name. And he kind of went through it. He documented it. Well, pretty typical. Chargers left tackle. You say he's now gone for the season? This guy Slater?
Yep.
And is he a first-year Charger player? Like, I don't follow them the way I used to follow them.
No, he was I think he was all pro last year. He was rookie.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tony Baselli said that he's like the best left tackle in football.
Tackle in the league, yeah.
And where did he come from? Did he come in from
Northwestern?
And he was drafted by the Chargers?
Yes, last year.
Okay, guys, I got to be honest with you. I'm not following him anywhere near as close as I used to. So Justin Herbert's got a rib problem. This guy J.C. Jackson that they got hasn't even played yet, has he?
He did. Wasn't very good against the Chiefs.
Okay, I'm not nearly following as much as I said I would. Keenan Allen is gone with a hamstring right now. Joey Bosa yesterday, I saw him. I could see him laying, and I could see him holding onto his groin. He's now out. Who knows how long that lasts? And now this left tackle is gone for the season. Shocking. The center is already gone. I think he had a knee problem. So this is what happens to this team. By the way, Browner, it's only a matter of time. Fitty Deuce is going to get hurt too. And it's not, and I'm not rooting for him to get hurt. I'm not rooting for the guy to get hurt. I'm just telling you, it just seems to happen to this team. Snake bit.
Did he play yesterday?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any impact on the game, Fitty Deuce?
Listen, I love it. I love it. Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming, because when he show up, he get them sacks, y'all quiet. Now he have a quiet game. Now y'all want to, all right, go ahead, man. Do y'all thing.
I just think that it's
a high step.
Brandon Staley came in as a chart. We said this last year. I'm saying it again because it's getting highlighted every year. He came in as a defense coordinator of the Rams, and he was highlighted as the Rams were the #1 defense the year that he got hired. That was his calling card. That was
1 year.
His thing. He is the defensive-minded guy. Now he's got the most talented roster on defense, everybody's telling us, and 0 sacks yesterday. 0. The week before, 1 because the Chiefs messed up the coverage in like the second play of the game, and they had a free run to Patrick Mahomes. 1. Where is the defense?
And the week before against Derek Carr and the Raiders, yeah, they look pretty good. But it turns out the Raiders are way worse than I thought they were.
Like I actually thought the Raiders, Jaguars that beat them by 28 points.
Yeah. Yep. You thought Jacksonville shutting out Indianapolis by 24 points was impressive? Destroying the Chargers on their home field, cross country. That is
what if the Jaguars are good? This is week 3. Every year a team makes a massive leap that we didn't see coming. Last year was the Cincinnati Bengals, who got to the Super Bowl with a young head coach and a young quarterback. Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl proven coach, goes to a team with what's supposed to be a generational quarterback, and now they're having success. I'm not necessarily blown away by it. Again, it's week 3.
No, I get it.
I think in week 3, all excuses are out the window now. Like, now you know what you are. Like, you can get better, obviously. You can get worse. You get more injuries, whatever. But at this point of the season, 3 weeks in, we know who's what.
Well, here's the problem for the Chargers.
Do we?
Yeah, I think.
Are the Broncos good?
No, the Broncos aren't very good.
Are the Chargers bad?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes, and probably going to get worse because of the injuries.
Save that.
Yeah, save it. Because here's the thing. If your starting left tackle is the best left tackle in football, and he's gone for the year, what's his replacement? The next best tackle in football? Probably not. If their center is hurt, I'm trying to remember the kid's name because they got him, I want to say, from Green Bay the year before. They got him as a free agent the year before. Okay, Keenan Allen's now hurt. And here's the thing about the quarterback. It's probably now an injury that's going to he's probably going to have to deal with this the whole season.
Brandon Staley said he's not going to feel better anytime soon.
If they would have let the kid not play yesterday, would the game have been any worse than 38-10?
If they wouldn't have let him play?
If they would have protected him from himself and said, look, you played Thursday, okay? We're going to give it a full 12 to 14 days off, and we're going to try and get you better. But instead, yesterday, he goes out and plays. He's clearly hurt, and he gets hit over and over and over again in that game. So chances are if he was at a 75% going into the game yesterday, today he's probably at about a 65%. And it's only going to get worse.
If you didn't have him, you had no chance to win that game.
Well, they didn't have any chance to win yesterday because
you didn't know that when the game started. Are you saying not play him at all?
Correct. That is exactly what I'm saying.
If you would have taken the field without him, you would have had zero chance to win with all those injuries that they had before they even started the game.
No, but those injuries happened. A couple of them, in particular, left tackle and Bosa, happened in game. So I would have taken my chances with 100% Chase Daniels rather than a 75% Justin Herbert, particularly against Jacksonville.
No thanks.
That's why you have backup.
I think the Chargers have a lot of problems. Lots of problems. They can't run the ball. They refuse to run the ball.
They're averaging 2 yards a carry. Yeah.
I mean, Austin Eckler hurt? Because he 4 carries yesterday. So, I mean, the defense is underperforming. And yeah, if they get healthy, will they be better? I think so, but how much better?
Well, but their left tackle's now not coming back. Bosa could be looking at, 4 or 5 weeks. And that's if he's healthy enough to even play along the way, injured. Dude, I'm telling you, this is so typical. Best roster in football. This is the year they're going to take over LA. Kids are going to grow up wanting to see these guys because they're winners. They got cool uniforms. Dude, did you see how that game looked empty yesterday on TV? Now, as the game went on, it definitely filled up. You know why? Tickets on the secondary market were $10. $10 to see an NFL football game. That's it. The ticket brokers were so desperate because there were no Jaguar fans coming into town that they were giving these tickets away. That's what it looked like early in the game. We're looking at it right now on screen. Let's go to Staley, though, because what you're saying, Alex, this clip, it's kind of long, but let's take a listen to how Brandon Staley, this is my opinion, Browner feels differently. Brandon Staley didn't have the guts to protect his player from himself. Let's take a listen.
He wanted to be out there with his teammates. He felt good, and he wanted to finish the game. He wanted to, give our group some energy, and we were going to protect him there at the end with really sound protection as best we could. But it was more about him wanting to finish with his guys.
Being the franchise quarterback, is there at some point as the coach you need to step in and say you already have a significant injury?
For sure. Yeah, we believe me, throughout the entire game. That's the first thought throughout the game and at the end of the game. And so, trust me, there's no one that's thinking about it more than I am.
Why take that risk then? If that's at the front of your mind and it's that important, why take the risk of having him in there?
Daniel, that was just the decision that we made, and it was about us finishing that game as a team, and it was important to us that we did it.
So looking long term, is him finishing and sending that message to the locker room more important than the potential injury risk that he was under for that last drive?
Yeah, I understand your entire line of questioning. I understand it. Justin's going to be feeling like this when he's out there playing. This injury is going to be there for a while. If you guys know the injury, it's not like it's going to feel better next week or the week after that. This thing is going to be present for a while. He felt good today, and we're going to continue to manage it the best we can.
What point will it come to where you step in and say, okay, you need to back off?
I'm sure there will be a point. I hope that we don't get into a game like this, but I'm sure that there definitely would be a point where we would do that, and when that time comes, we'll make the decision.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing. And by the way, listen. It's embarrassing. Listen, I give Brandon Staley a lot of credit. He's very calm. He's very cool. But watching him squirm and try and answer these questions, we tried to protect him as best we could late in the game. Dude, your left tackle, who people think might be the best in the game, is out. So what are you guys going to do to help? And by the way, you only were giving him that protection late in the game. You weren't giving him that kind of protection the whole game. There's a point where a coach has to protect a player at every level. This coach chose not to protect his player because they're desperate. They're dependent on him. I get that. Most teams are dependent on their star quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you this. This is my own opinion. I'll take 100% of my backup rather than 70% of my starter.
That's that. All right. That you're going to lose a lot of games. You're going to lose. Everybody plays hurt. No one's at 100%. You know this in the game of football.
Yeah, but
everybody ain't walking around 100%. A 70% Patrick Mahomes is better than the dude behind him. A 70% Justin Herbert is better than Chase Daniel.
Not what I saw yesterday.
A 70% Russell Wilson is better than the person behind him.
Difference of philosophy here, pal.
All I know
Brandon
is the Chargers got their ass kicked yesterday. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I loved it. Now I know.
I mean, in every aspect of the game, they got worked, like
big time.
Worked. They made Trevor Lawrence look like Clemson. Trevor Lawrence again.
Big time.
Like, and I think I said Trevor Lawrence is the bust of that draft, and I looked wrong because of the Chargers. So.
All right. Hey, listen, lots more to get to. Yeah, we got more from the Chargers and the Jaguars. And I know a lot of people are giving me a hard time like, yo, where's your face paint today, pal? You said you were going to paint your face Jaguar colors if the Jaguars came here and won, which I'm going to do as a celebration, but I haven't gotten the face paint yet. We'll get there. Lots more from around the NFL. But I think we should start turning our attentions towards what the Padres did this weekend, because now we're down to this is it. We're down to the very, very end, and the Dodgers are coming into town for 3. We'll get to that story coming right back. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Let's talk Padres next.
Your View honors Hispanic Heritage Month.
Please welcome 4 of the 5 San Diego County Teachers of the Year from the 2021-2022 school year. From Central Elementary School, Laura Perez. From Westville High School, Tiffany Jokers. From San Jose Elementary School, Jacqueline Jordan. And from St. Joe Chavez Middle School, Todd Sanders. Teachers, please deliver the pitch. San Diego County Teachers of the Year with their honorary pitch.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is almost complete. Live on YourView and YourView.com, watch your San Diego Loyal take on Orange County SC, Saturday, October 1st at 7 p.m. Support your playoff-bound San Diego Loyal as they prepare for the 2022 USL Championship. Orange County SC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7 on YourView.
Your View honors Hispanic Heritage Month.
Listen to The Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and themightier1090.com.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
It's time for some San Diego Loyals Soccer Club updates.
The Loyals secured their first ever home playoff match with a 2-1 win over the Las Vegas Lights on Saturday. Kyle Vassell and Elijah Morton both scored goals early. Vassell's goal came 16 seconds into the match, which is the fastest goal in club history and the quickest score in the USL Championship this season. It was Vassell's 14th goal of the year. 3 minutes later, Martin found the net for his first goal of the season. Vegas scored in the 71st minute to avoid the shutout and attempt the comeback, but the Loyal held on for the victory. San Diego remains in second place in the Western Conference standings behind San Antonio FC. The club has 3 regular season matches remaining. This weekend, they'll take on Orange County SC on Saturday in a rivalry match.
That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
Hunger is a year-round problem. The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter provide food assistance at locations throughout the county. We need your help. Host a food drive, volunteer, or donate online. Thank you for making a difference.
San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center, we take care of all various needs of patients for management of their venous insufficiency. People who come here are mainly concerned about symptoms that brings them on or issues related to cosmetic concern that we can always take care of. Now with the advancement of technology and so many catheter-based treatments, we can treat our patients much more quickly, much more comfortably, with less downtime. Patients love the result invariably.
It's been a huge impact in my life to feel better, to be able to power walk again. Overall, I'm just feeling like I used to feel when I was a lot younger, and I'm so grateful for this place.
It's a privilege to take care of our patients. It comes from the heart, and I love it.
Please welcome 4 of the 5 San Diego County Teachers of the Year from the 2021-2022 school year. From Central Elementary School, Laura Perez. From Westville High School, Tiffany Jokers. From San Jose Elementary School, Jacqueline Jorge. And from St. Joe Chavez Middle School, Todd Sanders. Teachers, please deliver the pitch. San Diego County Teachers of the Year with their honorary pitch.
PNC Bank specializes in a full suite of financial services from retail banking to mortgage to corporate banking. So while PNC Bank is a full-service financial institution, we view ourselves more than that, and that really is how we care and give back to our community.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships.
PNC is literally one of the only people we've ever allowed to be in here as a sponsor because we know how committed they truly are to the community and how committed they truly are to kids.
We continue to look forward to investing back into youth, arts, and especially the military here. I mean, San Diego is a military town, and we are giant supporters of the men and women that fight for our freedom.
My name is Alejandro Eugenio Guido Perez. I play for the San Diego Loyal, and I'm a midfielder. Midfielder kind of does a little bit of everything. Attacks, defends, it helps organizes the press to win the ball back, and then defend in the low block, and then attack and create opportunities for the forwards to score and yourself. I started at a young age playing soccer. I did it here in Chula Vista, but I also played in Tijuana, Mexico. It's definitely been restorative to be back home and be at a club, such a great club that values the person, not just the player. I've been able to grow tremendously on and off the field and be taken care of by the family that's around me and supporting me.
So Southwestern College, the name of the mariachi is Mariachi Garibaldi, is the performing group that we have. We've actually had as many as 4 different ensembles, so 4 different classes, beginning, intermediate, advanced. And the advanced group is outstanding. We got that associate's degree in music with the mariachi specialization approved in 2004. And that was the first in the world anywhere. It's not a degree in mariachi music, it's a degree in music with a specialization in mariachi.
The ensemble is great. I mean, it ranges anywhere from 30 to 50, sometimes 60 members every semester. It's fantastic.
The NFL lives here. If it's about the NFL, you found the right station. Join 1090 every Sunday during the NFL season for the exclusive SoCal home of not 1, but 2 NFL games every Sunday during the season on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Hunger is a year-round problem. The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter provide food assistance at locations throughout the county. We need your help. Host a food drive, volunteer, or donate online. Thank you for making a difference.
Home of Guiding Hands helps San Diego community in that we're a resource for families. A lot of times when families first identify that their child, their loved one, might have an intellectual or developmental disabilities, they don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. And we're here to help guide people through that process, to show them what a thriving life their loved one can have. It's a passion I share, having a daughter with a disability.
I really love the place that I live at. Because of Home of Guiding Hands, I was able to move out of my parents' house and into a beautiful home that I love living in. And so if you have an independent living service coordinator, they will help you learn more about being independent, and they help guide you through different things. They've helped me with lots of encouragement and love. They've also given me an ILS worker who is an amazing person, and I love her so much. She's great. I could tell you the first, I think, week or so, I wasn't feeling very confident in myself. The first couple of nights I was like, oh, this is scary. But I look back on it now and I'm like, this is so easy.
Main Street Living celebrates diverse abilities in partnership with Home of Guiding Hands, supporting the special needs community for over 55 years.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Dating back to prehistoric